By the time that Hezekiah had ascended to the throne of Judah, the brass serpent of Moses had become a cultic object. Israel had lost the magical connection to the original purpose of the serpent, and it was now worshipped as other idols. Charms, amulets, and talismans do not have magic power in of themselves. Their power comes from the supernatural agency behind them. The Lord promised two primary magical gifts when Oliver worked the sprout or the rod: knowledge, including the mysteries of God, and the ability to translate ancient records. The use of the divining rod for gaining information is widespread and of ancient date. Considered a gift from God, dowsers or rodsmen ask the rod to answer specific questions. The questions are posed in a yes or no format, with the movement or lack of movement by the rod providing the answer. A traditional Jewish prayer describes this form of rod divination. Heber C. Kimball was a rodsman, often using a rod to answer his important questions. He recorded in his diary in June 1844 one instance where he inquired of the rod while clothed in the robes of the holy priesthood. While historian Richard L. Anderson believed that Kimball's entry described more than yes-no questions, historian D. Michael Quinn suggested that he followed the standard format for revelation by the rod. We know that Oliver was successful in receiving knowledge through working the rod, since it had told him many things. However, we don't know how the revelatory process worked. It is possible that Oliver asked yes or no questions as a normal rodsman would, but the Lord's promise to tell Oliver whatsoever he would ask is problematic. By that means is never explained. Certainly, many things can be learned by the simple yes-no format, but what about the mysteries of God? How does one come to know the mysteries of God with a simple binary methodology? How does one ask questions about things one does not know about? And how does the Lord explain the mysteries merely through the movement or lack of movement by a rod? Surely, by that means must be more complex than yes or no questions. There are several plausible explanations of the process of working the rod and receiving complex sets of knowledge. One possible means is the changeable writing of the Liahona's pointers. It was through changeable writing that the Lord gave understanding of his ways, meaning understanding of the mysteries. It would be easy for the Lord to provide writings on Oliver's rod, as he did with the pointers on the Liahona. The difference would be that the writing would appear at Oliver's request in faith. Or the Lord could have told Oliver verbally through the rod. The primary meaning of tell, after all, is to communicate by speech. In this case, the rod might operate as a transducer, converting energy into sound. This form of rod divination is claimed in Scripture. Unfortunately, without further clarification, we can't know how the rod worked. All we do know is that whatever the means was, it was unique and supernatural, since only the power of God was capable of making the rod work.